So, how many people here smoke cigarettes or use tobacco-related products? Well, the truth of the matter is that cigarettes are not only dangerous and harmful to its host, but they also affect standards of living and also affect, they also pose serious health concerns to others nearby as well. There's an abundant amount of information and evidence to support the removal of tobacco-related products off the American marketplace. However, the two main points that I'll be covering today are the various health concerns and cancers related to tobacco products, as well as the business and marketing side of tobacco products. So, to start off my first point, the first point that I would like to discuss more in-depthly is the various health concerns and cancers related to and due to tobacco usage. There are over 7,000 chemicals found so far in tobacco products, 250 of which are known to be harmful to the human body, 70 of which are actually known to be toxic and contain cancer-causing agents. Some of the chemicals that can be found in tobacco products are chemicals such as nicotine, methane, hydrogen cyanide, lead, ammonia, and as well as even some radioactive elements such as uranium. These chemicals can also be found in other products and items such as household cleaning products, synthetic rubbers and plastics, various steel and iron products, as well as even animal feces and urine. Now, just using your own intuition, you could just create your own assumption about the type of negative effects this can have on your body, as well as just basically just self-destruction by inhaling and consuming certain products, tobacco products, and just the type of effect that it could have on, the type of negative effect it could have on certain areas of your body, on certain organs, and as well as even just the overall lifespan of a user's body, on a user's body. Smoking cigarettes causes more than 480,000 deaths each year in the United States, according to the CDC, or the Center for Disease Control. An astounding 48.5% of all cancer-related deaths is attributed to a combination of 12 different types of cancers caused by cigarette smoking. Reported the ACS, the American Cancer Society, which basically essentially means that 48.5% of all cancer-related deaths in the United States is a combination, 12 different types of cancers caused by cigarette smoking, combined is attributed or equal to 48.5% of all cancer-related deaths in America. That's nearly half the percentage of all cancer-related deaths in America, which is an astounding number for just being cigarette smoking or tobacco products, which is terrible. Ultimately, smoking cigarettes is not only disgusting for both internal and external areas on a user's body, as well as the progression of public health and safety. Moving forward into my next point, I would like to discuss more in-depthly is the business and marketing side of tobacco products. As cigarette prices increase and sales decrease, greedy corporate heads are now manufacturing their products to not only appeal more to American consumers, but also by modifying their products to be more addictive, to become more addictive. These modifications seem to be directed and targeted towards many children and adolescents, prominently in middle and high school ages, as an attempt to increase sales cigarette companies are actually now manufacturing electronic cigarettes or e-cigarettes known as Juuls or Juul pods. These Juul pods offer such appealing flavors such as mint, mango, cream, and fruit medley. All these, a single Juul pod contains the same amount of nicotine found in 20 cigarettes. And or reported from an article of thetruth.com, an organization created in efforts to avoid and stop consumption and marketing amongst children and adolescents. All this created a major problem, and also it poses major health concerns and safe development issues for children and adolescents due to their natural and understandable ignorance towards these products, towards just the type of negative effects and consumption of these products can have on their life and also on their body, participating at such a young age, which is ultimately just bad, and it also feeds into their natural curiosity and experimental mentality towards certain things like these during those types of ages, as being a teen, wanting to try more things, wanting to be more experimental, and these companies understand that, and they're trying to go ahead and take advantage in a way of these certain types of instances and situations. Ultimately, cigarette smoking is not only dangerous, but they also pose serious health concerns, and they also affect public interactions just on a daily basis throughout the community. They not only pose serious health concerns and cancers, but they also just affect public status of living and just overall morality of just being happy, and throughout the community. And whether it's from its 7,000 chemicals it contains, or devious corporate heads manufacturing their products to become more addictive in efforts to take advantage of the defenseless or less knowledgeable crowd in American public. Ultimately, cigarettes are dangerous, they pose serious health concerns, and they should be removed from American markets. Thank you.
All right, Rocio, you're not here, right?
Yeah, okay.
My enthusiasm for audience surveys has not increased greatly, so I'm not exactly sure that you help yourself much with that. The risk of the tobacco products, I think, is the stronger way to get the audience's attention. I'm not really sure there's anybody here that needs to be convinced that there are health risks from consuming tobacco products. So where the argument has to primarily focus, I think, on what's going on to incentivize people using these products, or where we're failing to discourage people, or as you say, at the end, you're basically calling for a ban on these kinds of products. So how do we do that? Wow. Especially when we consider all the people that use those products currently, some of whom are addicted to those products. What would the consequence be to them if we were to withdraw them? Would there be consequences? Would they be harmed? That they're certainly going to go through some withdrawal issues. I'm not exactly sure that you've got any practical approach to doing what it is that is kind of the background point of your whole argument, even though you are really focusing on informing us about what the dangers of tobacco products are and what the marketing issues are in relationship to those products. Like I said, there's good data on the risks of tobacco consumption. You mentioned all the chemicals that are there. You've got statistics about the deaths that are associated with tobacco products. Again, I don't think that there's a lot of controversy on that. So keeping that relatively brief would make a lot of sense. The argument about the marketing issue that companies are either shifting to these new kinds of products as a way to hook new customers or troll for younger users, that sort of thing. I think you could sell that argument a little bit more. I think you're kind of cruising on some generic information on this, and you need to do more to prove that there is in fact an active outreach here to get naive users, people who aren't well informed or who have only a tangential set of information about the subject hooked on these products. The one thing that I think is also missing is some proof that these other kinds of products, the new technological products, e-cigarettes and Juuls and all that sort of stuff, that they have the same kinds of harms as regular tobacco products. I know that they're mostly delivering nicotine. What's the harm that comes from nicotine? You identify harms from consuming tobacco products, but those harms include the 7,000 plus chemicals that you're talking about. Nicotine is only one of those. What's the impact of nicotine itself? That I think needs to be developed a little bit more. The presentation, you do speak without dependence on notes. You present yourself pretty effectively. You're sort of engaged. You're looking up, but you're not always looking at us. It's like we're here, and you're pointed in that general direction sometimes, but you're not connecting with people like we've talked about doing before. I think you need to do more of that. I think your voice is pretty effective at getting things across, and you sound polished. I thought that the structure was clear. You follow your structure, so you're doing a pretty good job there. I just think if you're going to make an argument that says that we ought to get rid of tobacco products, you need to tell us how we do that it's practical, that the disadvantages don't outweigh the advantages, and give us a stronger reason, especially for the particular products that you're talking about, the new ones. All right, thank you.